and welcome back to another LEGO Unbox, Unbag and Build Per Bag. This time I'm here with set 75290, Mos Eisley Cantina. Master Builder series is back. This isn't essentially a UCS set, this is a Master Builder series set, and it kind of tries to cater for the AFOLs and the kids at the same time because it is a massive play set, just like Hoth was. But the difference between this and Hoth is it definitely does cater to its older fans as well, because it just looks great. Another fun fact, it's not actually called Mos Eisley Cantina. This is actually called Chalmers Spaceport Cantina. And, you know, I suppose we all just call it Mos Eisley because it's, the most famous one we know in Mos Eisley, and it's, where everything happens. But, yeah, let's just get on to the rest of the box. So, this is going to be a bit difficult because the box is actually huge. So, we have here all of our minifigs on the top. I'm not going to list them out. I did in the review, which you will definitely see soon. So there's all your minifigs and your little spare minifigs. I have to kind of push and display back here even further. You can see that the set is shown from a different angle there. Of course, not all of the set. And a little kind of words under there saying Master Builder Series. The back of the box I'm going to skip by for a second to show you the very exciting other side of the box. Like, that's it. It's just black the whole way down and a small bit of writing there. It's literally just Mos Eisley Cantina in a couple of different languages, but that's about it. Let's see where we are now. And the bottom of the box is not much different. It's upside down at the moment, sorry about that, but it's all just small print and nothing too interesting there. But the back of the box does not hold the same fate as the sides and bottom of the box. This back of the box is actually quite interesting. It shows Luke's encounter with Pondo Baba and Dr. Evazan. Still not sure, am I getting the name right? In the corner there, you will see the Bits Band playing away good there. Probably playing the same song as they always do. You can see Han in the corner there. Also, he is probably waiting because I'm fairly sure that is where Obi-Wan meets Chewbacca. They meet at the bar and then they go over to the corner. I think that's how it works. And Greedo is maybe just about to go over to Han. I'm not sure. But otherwise then you can see the droids are leaving and you can just see a little bit more action. You can see this lovely little blueprint there, or white print there. It shows the cantina in all its glory. It shows that it opens up. It shows there's a few things that come with it. And it shows the dimensions of it here as well, which is definitely good because, sets this big, you need to know if you have the space for them. Not me, I just buy sets because I like them and I work about displaying afterwards, which is probably not a great way to go about it. But you can also see then Greedo and Han's encounter there and repeated in Lego. You can also see little boxes here and here showing the Stormtrooper looking for C-3PO and R2-D2, and it shows the landspeeder there that it comes with as well. You can see that in the background. It's not a massive part of the movie by any means, but it's definitely present in the movie itself. But that's pretty much all I can say about the back of the box. And from the back of the box to the unbox. Let's see. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Okay. There's quite a bit. Okay, so it comes with 18 numbers. That's impressive in itself. 10 to 18 are all outside this box, and I'll open up this box for you now in 1 second. I just want to keep it all together. 10 has another bag, 14 has 2 other bags, 15 has another bag, 16 has another bag, 17 has another bag, and 18 has another bag. We obviously don't see the instructions here yet because we don't have bag number 1, which is, I'm assuming, all in here. But that's pretty much all we get straight out of the box. Let's see what we get in this box. So in this video, you're actually getting 2 unboxes. This, I'm not sure is at the back because all sides are exactly the same. So I'm just going to tell you that this is the back and say from the back of the box to the unbox again. So that's wow, okay. Jesus, Jesus. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, I didn't really expect much less, but that's a beast. You can see the dewback. Is that what he's called? The dewback? But where's his jaw gone? He doesn't have any jaw. Yeah, let's get these lined out for you so we can see what's going on. So here we have the layout. What's the best is that's the speeder. You can see R2-D2. We don't get R2-D2 until bag 6. Oh no, I was waiting for R2. We got a teal brick separator. They're a little bit more rare. I like that. I only have like 4 of them, whereas I have like 20 of the other ones. We have this bag, which has no number on it. We have seen obviously that done before. It has a giant plate in it, and it also then has some kind of wires and stuff. I'm assuming those 2 are for the dewback, and this is for I'm going to say the bar. 9 numbered bags. 8 and 4 have 2 bags attached to them. It comes with your giant instruction book, the absolute whopper of an instruction book. Your dewback is, I will say loose, but he's in this box, so he's not really that loose. Also, you can see a sticker sheet, and you can see that the booklet is enclosed in plastic, which is definitely nice, just to keep it kind of crease free. Look at the little legs. I the C-3PO in this bag. There's a stormtrooper in that bag. I can see his helmet. I said in one of my videos recently that it's like my favourite stormtrooper to date, because I just love how kind of ugly he is and how detailed and how just like kind of in your face his face is. But then a meme started circulating around the internet of the Family Guy stormtrooper, and now I can't unsee it, and now I hate it. But you know, we'll skip over that, because I'm sure everybody's seen that at this stage, and get straight on to opening up the bags. Just quickly before we get into opening the bags, I'll give you a little look close up of the stickers here. It's not an awful lot of stickers for such a big set. This it intrigues me a little bit, because I'm wondering, is it a wanted poster, and does that make it kind of inaccurate? Because the droids are oddly specific to R2-D2 and C-3PO, or else, you know, it could have just been the rule that was put up the day after they walked in. It's like, I don't like the look of them. But otherwise, it'll probably be a no droids allowed kind of sticker or poster, rather, that would be on the wall of the cantina. But we'll get into all of that later. Nice looking stickers, in fairness. Some of them are definitely nice there with a little bit of Star Wars writing. But here's some beautiful stuff. This tells you a little bit about, obviously, the Lego Star Wars design team, and a little bit about the cantina itself. Also, you can see IG-88's head that was used as a bar apparatus there, which is quite interesting. They kind of reused that later on in some of the older scenes. Here is the designer. Now, something it says over on this side is that he designed this in 2016 as soon as he became a designer, and left it on his shelf until recently. But then he, you know, perfected it and got it on shelves, which I think was quite interesting. It just shows you a little bit about, it tells you a little bit about the whole designer himself, and kind of just why he built it, why he had an interest in it. Then you can see some screenshots from the movie. You can see what I believe to be Greedo's spaceship in the background. I know the stormtroopers are there close to it, and they always have been close to it and with it, but I'm fairly sure I read somewhere that was Greedo's spaceship, and that makes more sense, because you're not going to fit 2 stormtroopers in there. I don't know. And it doesn't look like a droid either. It looked way too big to be a droid. Even for a probe droids are way smaller than that. He kind of just goes over the whole reason that they're at the cantina, and why the cantina is in the movie, in this little on that page there. And then it shows you a little bit about the speeder. It mentions the name of the speeder, which is nice, the V35 landspeeder. But it also mentions something that I didn't notice, that it was in Uncle Owen's and Baru's garage when C-3PO is about to take his oil bath. I'm just going to skip to a random page, because this is beautiful. I think they should do this for more sets. I think they have done this already, but, like, come on. The instructions background is black. This is gorgeous. I love it. I really do. I'll give you a little look at the back there. Nothing interesting really on the back. It's literally just Star Wars with black background there. But yeah, I just think that was I just thought that was something I needed to show you before I open the bags. But let's get into it. Let's get into opening bags. So bag number 1 here, and not an awful lot of crazy pieces. We can see Farm Boy Luke there is in this bag. We can see the brick separator is also in this bag. Definitely a nice colour. Our small pieces side isn't that interesting really. Just some nice kind of, translucent pieces here and some lime green studs there. Yeah, but that's pretty much all. Let's just get straight on to the build for bag number 1. So at the end of bag number 1, we have a little bit of the landspeeder. It's bigger than I thought it was going to be. Definitely bigger than, I had hoped a little bit, because the smaller it is at this stage, the better for me, because it'll fit somewhere. But yeah, only half the landspeeder. We have used one sticker, which is right here. As you can see there, the control panel. We have Luke Skywalker here with his lightsaber, and we also have 4 spare pieces. Let's just get straight on to bag number 2. So bag number 2 here, and one interesting piece of course is the cockpit piece there. You can see there that we have the lizard guy. I can't remember the race he is, with the kind of funny name to pronounce. Also then you can see there's a few kind of interesting looking pieces here. Nothing we haven't seen before. And the small side pretty much holds the same, standard enough pieces. No printed tiles on it. Just let me check. Actually, is that printed? I don't think it is. No printed tiles on that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the overview of bag number 2. So at the end of bag number 2, and we have the, oh god, I forget the name of it already, but we have the landspeeder. You can see there that you can click off the top, boom, and you can fit someone in there, and you can also fit someone in the back there as well, in here. We used stickers here, where else? There was another sticker, and here, on the sides here. Also here. Yeah, so there's a few stickers gone there. You can see yourself there. Quite a lot of them actually are gone, like in relation to how big the set is and how small the speeder is compared to it. But like, if you look, I mean, the set looks like it's going to be fairly big. Like, it's going to be massive. We also then at the end of this bag have this guy. Then our spare pieces here. Now before we get on to bag number 3 and start the cantina, there's another part of the instruction book here that gives you a little bit more information about the cantina. Well, the Lego version of the cantina it's talking about in this one. You can decide who shoots first. You can recreate the scene in the booth that Chewie, Han, and Obi-Wan and Luke are all in. And you can take off the roof and open it up to see Wooher, the bartender. And there's a few things that it mentions here on this page. But yeah, time now to get on to bag number 3 and finally start the cantina. Bag number 3, the first bag of the cantina. It also tells you to take this out of the unnumbered bag there, which you can do quite easily actually. You just literally put a tiny little hole in the top there, and you can kind of get it out without like completely emptying out the contents and having loose pieces all over the place. So basically, just another thing before I forget. It has a little kind of like description of Wooher up there. Just, it doesn't have that for any of the other characters so far, so that's kind of interesting. Interesting pieces. I will say that this is interesting just because it's nice to see like little kind of cupboards and stuff in the bar. There's actual drawers, Lego drawers. I have not seen these before. This piece, however, actually is nice. It's kind of like a lantern piece. Not really sure what to call it, but it's definitely really nice. It's in gold, and you can see a glass kind of bottle, I'm assuming is what it's trying to represent there. So the small side comes with 2 bags, bag 1 and bag 2. Wooher's head there, obviously, some silver cones, some gold cones, some bones. There's a white bottle here. It looks like it's supposed to be pretending to be a glass bottle, which is definitely nice there because it's a bar. It makes sense. And then the other small bag is a bit more gold pieces in it, some lightsaber hilts there. I'm assuming they're going to be used in the actual bar, not as lightsabers. But yeah, definitely some nice pieces there. One of the nicer pieces I would say as well is this little clip piece. I haven't seen that in gold before. And there's also a printed tile there as well. So that's pretty much it for the overview of bag number 3. Let's get on to the build. So at the end of bag number 3 we have the bar done. It's nice, definitely nice. That wire piece is, you gotta be careful with the wire piece, because that bends the way you make it bend. It will be like pushed in against the Lego right here and right here, unless you pull it out a little bit, pull it out here and push this back up a little bit, just so it's all kind of keeping its shape well there. And we get Wooher with his gun. The spare parts list for this one, there's quite a lot of spare parts here. It always gets you wondering, have I put everything in the right place? But there's no doubles there, so that's a good sign. I feel like whenever we have the spare parts for the whole set, it'll be like a whole bag worth of small bits. That's pretty much it for bag number 3. Also, there's a little quote down here, and that was one of my facts in the that I stated earlier, is the IG-88 head has been reused here, and obviously enough has been reused in later films from here, but you know, for the continuity of the story, the actual droid's head is reused on the cantina. But yeah, on to bag number 4, and just before I do, a little quote there from Obi-Wan. Definitely a lovely instruction booklet. It's just a very nice one to go through. But yeah, on to bag number 4. So bag number 4, and we can see, I want to show you this one first. We can see the capes are all in here, and this just looks really nice. So capes and pauldrons, and there's capes, and it's just lovely. It's just, I see so many capes, it's great. You can see that kind of flag thing as well. I think that's over the Jawa hut, but I'm not sure. The Jawa shop, sorry, but I'm just not sure. It tells you to take out this piece as well. You might think, like, what's the crack so with the rest of the bag, but if you wrap it up like that, you can keep your wires in there nice and safe and unbent and stuff, and which is great. But not an awful lot of crazy pieces in here, standard enough. Now the one piece did stand out more than the rest. You can see the hood as well, the newer style hood for Obi-Wan Kenobi, definitely nice to add in there. But as I said, one piece kind of stood out a little bit more from the rest, and that's this piece. It's a little box, but there's like printing on it, some Star Wars writing there, and I'm not sure, is that an Imperial sign or a Republic sign? I think it could be Imperial. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. Like that's pretty cool. But otherwise, not an awful lot of crazy pieces in there. As I said, they asked me to take out the massive piece there. 2 small bags come inside that bag. You can see a glass there, a cup, and another kind of glass thing. You can see a white binoculars there, which is nice and interesting. I've only seen that in one other set, but I haven't gotten every set in the world, so it could be in other sets. There's the other small bag here. Again, not an awful lot of crazy pieces in any of this bag, but there is another bag which I'll show you now for bag number 4. So this is the contents of these other bag number 4, the other bag labelled 4. That came separately to the other bag, you know. Doesn't look like there's an awful lot of crazy pieces in there either, to be honest with you. But that is pretty much all we get from bag number 4. We do get quite a bit, but you know, that's pretty much it. Let's get on to the build. So bag number 4 leaves us with, I had to use that actually, sorry. Bag number 4 leaves us with pretty much half of the cantina, but you know, there's still an awful lot left. It leaves us with a lot of the seats though, another kind of bench on the side, a box there for binoculars, and just that's probably the doorway. It's probably going to end up being the doorway. It's a nice little kind of steps there. Also, you can see then we're left with Obi-Wan Kenobi with the hood up, and our spare pieces left here are as follows. And then for the next bag, there's another little kind of paragraph, I might say, about this guy. which is kind of interesting. So we'll be making him next in bag number 5, which we will get on to now. So bag number 5, doesn't seem to be any mad pieces that we haven't seen before. This kind of window piece could be good for like Tatooine mocks. Also then they've got a glass bottle here. You've got Cabe here as well in this bag. Nothing too crazy in the bag. And then we also have the small side, which, you know, has Cabe's headpiece, which is definitely a nice addition. We can see silver rings there, some glasses, some kind of cool colored studs, but not an awful lot of crazy looking pieces. And if I'm right in saying there's no printed tiles, I think I am right. Yeah, no, there's no printed tiles there, but that's pretty much it for the overview of bag number 5. Let's get on to the build. So bag number 5 leaves us with a little bit more of the cantina. I mean, I don't really know what to say about each bag at this stage, because it is just adding on bits and bobs to each of the, like, we added a few windows here, you know, and we added like a bit more onto the seats. We added like some of these things up here. Some things onto the table. I mean, there's not an awful lot of stuff that comes each bag now, you know. It is just kind of building on. We also get Cabe, I think is his name. I can't remember. I genuinely don't know most of these characters, but yeah, he's a nice figure. Definitely my least favorite in the packet though, because I'm not a fan of this hairpiece. I just don't really like it all that much. Our spare pieces for this bag are here in front of you now. Some nice pieces, like I love that blue. That's a very nice blue. But yeah, so bag number 6, and not an awful lot of interesting pieces in this one either. You can see more windows in there. Maybe this piece, kind of brick piece, but you know, it's mainly just for kind of Tatooine mocks. That would be kind of interesting. Small side here, not an awful lot of pieces, and no printed tiles in this one either. But yeah, that's the overview for bag number 6. Let's get on to the build. So at the end of bag number 6, and we have R2-D2 here looking well. I mean, there's nothing really different about him. He's only been in a few sets this year so far, in 2020, but you know, there's still not an awful lot you can really say about him. We can see the places starting to come along very nicely as well. You can see the walls are starting to kind of build up, which is really nice. Some of the lights and fixtures on the walls are starting to appear. Windows and holes in the walls and stuff are also evident there, which is definitely nice. Your spare pieces then for this bag are not that much. There's just 3. If I'm right. Yeah, there's just 3 spare pieces for this bag, and that's pretty much it. So, bag number 7, and it's kind of pitiful compared to the rest of the bags. That's interesting, because it's very big compared to the other kind of pieces we've seen like it. Like, this is kind of the biggest I've seen in a while. That's what she said. And we have nothing really too interesting here. Very, very standard pieces in this, and not a lot in this bag at all. The small side, again, there's nothing that impressive about this bag apart from C-3PO. And even then, I think I've done a video on this a while ago. It's like the 11th time we've seen him in a set, so it's kind of getting a bit stale for some people. But yeah, no, it's just that's pretty much it. Let's get on to the build. So at the end of bag number 7, we have a few more bits kind of just up on the top here. I think we've actually finished off the walls here altogether. We have tiled off quite a lot of it there, as you can see. And the sleeper tiles there means that the roof will probably sit on that. Now this is interesting, because you see this whole arch here is actually only attached by these little tiles or plates. I don't know what to call them. You see the ones with the little kind of angles on them? It's literally just there and there it's attached onto, and it's held up then a bit more like for sturdiness, I suppose, there and there, which is really nice. It gets that angle really well, you know, to go in there if you want to kind of see in through there. It's definitely looking really nice, and the more I build it, the more I'm really feeling it is an 18 plus set, because it just looks so nice compared to a kid's Lego set. Like, a kid's Lego set has room for error. It has holes in it sometimes in places it shouldn't have, and it has like unfinished parts of it, but this one does not look like that at all. not ripping on kids Lego sets. I still have plenty of them and love every one of them. But like this, well, maybe not every one of them, of course, now in fairness. But like this is just very, very good, I think. It's one of my favourites so far. Our spare parts are here. And yeah, that's it. So bag number 8, and we can see here is one bag. Here is the other bag numbered 8, and then our 2 small bags inside. Now there's kind of interesting pieces in the sense that we don't really see them a lot. Not that they're like mad or really crazy or anything like really unusual. But yeah, we definitely see some nice pieces there. This piece making a return, the kind of weird top bit there added onto it. Not really sure about any of that. Now the helmet. We got onto this Blue Harvest looking helmet. And to be honest, I still really like it. I really like the detail in it. I do. I think it looks kind of bulky and clunky and stuff, but I just really like the kind of, it just looks a bit older. It looks a bit more original trilogy than it has. I don't know. I could be completely wrong, but in my opinion, it does kind of look nice. Wait until we get it on the figure. See, does it look like really just scream Blue Harvest at me? But you know, we will see the crack there. Otherwise, it's kind of interesting plates there and stuff. In this side, we don't really see an awful lot of crazy bits at all, really. Standard enough pieces, kind of the same as what we have been seeing in the last bit of the set as well. Small bag number 1 contains a little blaster, which is nice. Contains this thing, which goes on the Stormtrooper's back, which I assume holds his backpack, which is nice to see there. Some yellow bits there that are quite nice to see, and you might notice it, but I noticed it like as soon as it came out of the packet. This is kind of blue. I mean, I didn't know they made this piece in kind of grey blue, but they do. It's like, it's grey blue. It's not blue, it's not grey, it's not the same colour as that, it's not the same colour as that. It's on its own. It's a little, it creeped me out a little bit. I was like, oh god, why is this so different? But no, it's nice there still. It is definitely a nice colour. It just kind of reminds me of the old kind of grey that was a little bit more blue. On to the second bag now. We can see more of the rings there, and to be honest, not an awful lot I can say about it. Standard enough pieces, nothing we haven't seen before in the previous bags, maybe bar this and this, which go together to make the spinny tile, which I think could be, you know, altered to go on top of R2-D2's head so his head can move around, but you know, we'll get into that in a different video of some sort. But that is your overview for bags number 8. Let's get on to the build. And there is a little thing about the Sand Trooper there. It's actually on the page where you finish the Sand Trooper, as opposed to the page where you start the Sand Trooper. Lego are cutting corners here and explaining themselves as to why the door is opening up the way instead of sideways. And yeah, it does definitely open up the ways. It says it makes for better fast escapes, but no, it's just easier for the design in the Lego version for it to go up rather than sideways like it should in the film. But yeah, just thought that was kind of interesting there. So at the end of bag number 8, we have a Stormtrooper out of the bag. We have the Stormtrooper commander, or you know, leader of the squadron, the Sand Trooper, sorry. And this isn't fitting on the tray anymore, so that's why it's not, you know, at the end of bag number blah, it's like, it's too big. It's just about fitting, because if you look at it, it will fit here, but it just kind of pushes up there, and I don't want to, you know, bend it in the wrong way for too long or anything and have the pieces bent out of shape and warp and all. But yeah, we can see here that most of the kind of doorway now is finished, and yeah, there's a little bit of the outside place here where they stand. These, which I'm assuming are essentially for, you know, you tie up your boat. I'm assuming this is to tie up your bantha or your whatever you're riding at the moment, you know, into the cantina. Just a hunch, but yeah, we can see then as well the door opens and closes. We can see the little kind of what is it called, reception area maybe, I don't know. It's just another place where people can sit, really. We didn't really add on to here that much in this bag. But yeah, definitely nice. I love this mechanism, but it's not exactly anything unusual or new. I will say that I stand by my statement earlier. The more you build it, the more it does make sense that it's an 18+ set, and the more it does kind of come together as a model, more so than a toy, if you know what I mean. and your spare parts are over here. So bag number 9, and you know, interesting pieces straight off the bat would be these pieces, and you've got Pondo Baba's head there. I think the doctor is there as well. I think that's him there, so that's interesting. Otherwise, not an awful lot of crazy pieces in it, to be honest. It's standard enough pieces. You got this piece again, but I'd say you'll see that a few times more now in this set. 2 small bags, no printed tiles. What you see is what you get, really. You get some gold lightsaber hilts, which is nice and interesting there. And you know, some other gold bits, but other than that, there's not really an awful lot of crazy pieces. You can see the doctor's hair over there, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Just also letting you know that there's a little more about the guys here, Ponda Baba and Dr. Cornelius Evazan, I think. I'm not sure what his name is, but yeah, that's what that is there. So yeah, let's get on to the build. We can also see a little bit of information there too about the filming of Mos Eisley Cantina, which is pretty cool. So at the end of bag number 9, and we have these 2 beautiful people, law-upholding citizens right here. Their guns there. Sorry, I didn't put them in the hands. I usually do. Your spare pieces for this bag, and boom, we have most of the roof done. We have a lot of the roof done. Like, we have little bits here. We added in little bits just around little details. We finally connected this together. I'm assuming there's going to be another one of those kind of clips up there. But I could be wrong. I don't know. But yeah, just got the roofs on now, and you can take all of them off individually. I think you might know that if you know anything about the set. You know, that's interesting, definitely. I suppose we can just fly straight on to bag number 10. So here we got bag number 10. Bag number 10 labelled, the second bag, sorry, labelled number 10. The first bag labelled 10, and our 2 small bags in the first bag. I will just mention, each bit is exactly the same. You got 3 of the same torsos, 3 of the exact same heads. I don't know what I was expecting, but maybe slight differences. Otherwise, no crazy pieces in this one at all. You can argue maybe that this is a nice piece or different, unusual piece. But otherwise, definitely fairly standard pieces otherwise here. Also then, I'm not really sure why they usually break that up like that. It's just another bag of standard pieces, nothing really interesting, arguably that. But, you know, definitely just, you know, nothing crazy in there. Your 2 small bags is much of the same. Nothing crazy in there either. Fairly standard pieces, but you know, you kind of you see what you get there. There is a little cup there, a see-through cup. Some lightsaber handles. And to be honest, that seems to be all it is. No printed tiles in this bag either. Let's get straight on to the build. Also, you got a little kind of information about the Biff band, which is nice. So, bag number 10 leaves us with the Biff band, the modal nodes, and, well, you know, some of them anyway. And I'm assuming their stage. This is the seat that Han Solo shot first in. As you can see, the little mechanism there kicks them up. I would have hoped for a little plate on top there, so it looks kind of, you know, finished off. But you know, they've done an all right job on it. Like, it doesn't really poke out too much. Like, it's not an eyesore or anything. But you can pretty much see that is like contrasted to it. It's pretty much this part here. And what I said earlier about it not being too big, I was wrong. It's definitely going to be too big. Not too big, it's going to be massive, but it's just going to be too big for my personal display. It's just, don't have a lot of space. Your spare parts are as followed, right there. And your next bag features this dude and has a little bit more information about him there too. Bag number 11 does not hold a lot of pieces. It holds, of course, this dude in it, which I think is interesting because if you look there, you will see a little bit of kind of a hood on the back. I think that means it's specifically molded for this character and this set. Not an awful lot of crazy pieces. Maybe this. Some nice blue pieces here on the small side. But, you know, otherwise you can argue like this bit, maybe. But, you know, otherwise there's not an awful lot of crazy parts in that. So let's get on to the build. So at the end of bag number 11, we have more of the floor done. We have some lights put on. We have some walls kind of built onto there. Windows there, obviously, as well. A few more bits and bobs, as you can see, the difference between this bag and the last bag. Also, then, you can see the character here. Can't remember his name. Can't remember many of the secondary characters' names. But it's really, really cool that they are actually adding in characters like him. 2 spare pieces here. 1 and 2. And yeah, anyway, moving on. So bag number 12 here, and nothing really interesting. You can see these pieces making a return. Possibly this piece might be interesting to you, because I don't think I've seen that one before. Just the underside especially looks a bit strange compared to what it usually does. But and your small side here as well. There's bag number 1 of the small parts, and bag number 2 of the small parts. Again, nothing really that interesting or crazy in it. You can argue maybe that the gold kind of vents there, but you know, I think we've seen that already in this set. Maybe not. I think we've seen that already in this set. But yeah, that's it for the overview of bag number 12. Let's get on to the build. So at the end of bag number 12, we have quite a lot more done. We have quite a lot of this kind of finished off now. The walls, as you can see here, are finished as well. A few more kind of minor details in there too. We've got some clips here. I'm not sure, are they for the door or for the wall or what's happening there? And we of course have Han Solo there as well with his lovely kind of slicked back hair. Not even slicked back. We have no spare pieces for this bag at all. But yeah, moving swiftly on to bag number 13. Now, just before I do, okay, you see that? How are you going to get 18 bags if this is where 13 brings you? Surely 2 or 3 more bags is finished, but I don't know. Also, I think proving my point is the fact that Greedo is built with his spaceship. You know, I just feel like, because these 2 come out of this bag, so I feel like it is Greedo's spaceship. Otherwise, it should come with the stormtroopers. No? Am I wrong? I could be reading too much into it. It could just be a coincidence that they put them in the same bag, but I really doubt it. I really do doubt it. And from now on, to me at least, it will be Greedo's ship. So bag number 13, notably no kind of little information thing about Greedo there. But yeah, bag number 13, we see some interesting pieces. For example, this. It's just because of the colour of it, really. This is a nice little piece. Definitely for mocks or anything you want to do with that. Not an awful lot of other interesting pieces in there. But I think, I mean, just actually pointing out, the eyes on this are quite stunning. Like, the head mold, it's a really nice, it's a really, really nice head mold. And detail on it is very good. But this is where it gets interesting. Not this side, but I'll just give you a little overview here, because there's nothing really interesting, as I said, in this side. So, you know, that's kind of what you see is what you get. But these little pieces, they were actually in the last Mos Eisley Cantina, released in 2016 and been of like 30-something sets. But I've never seen these before. They were also in an A-Wing foil pack, but otherwise they're not in a lot of Star Wars sets. They're just quite interesting little pieces. Like, I don't understand. Well, I suppose I do understand, because once they came with this, it kind of made sense of it all. But definitely some nice pieces there. Otherwise, nothing interesting, no printed pieces or anything like that. So let's go straight on to the build. Sorry, I lied. There was a printed piece in it. So at the end of bag number... What bag are we on? Jesus, it's getting kind of confusing. 13. So at the end of bag number 13, we have Greedo, of course, and Greedo's spaceship. And as you might have guessed, just based on the last couple of bags, yes, it's gotten too big for the tray, because we've added it on to the rest. Not very securely so far, literally just that clip there, but we'll fix that now in this one. Essentially, we have the whole thing done. We just need to put like a few finishing touches on, and the roof little bits on. Some interesting techniques is they use this quite a lot. They put flat tiles down here, or plates, I'm not quite sure which one's which, but then they like clip things on to the side and like leave it on top of that. So it's actually held by these little things again, these little jointed parts again. Quite like a lot of the build at angles is done like that, and this arch as well. A lot of it is done like that, where it's kind of on those little joints, and that's really nice actually. I like that technique. They've been using it quite a lot. But yeah, let's get on to bag number 14, and just before I do, you get this guy with a little bit more information about him as well, and your spare pieces for this bag as well. So bag number 14 here, and we can see there's another one of these in it. That's very interesting. I do love those pieces because they're just perfect for little mocks and stuff if you want to do that. We've got a broomstick here, which is definitely nice, a little broom. But otherwise, not an awful lot of crazy pieces. It seems like a standard enough haul in this bag. No printed pieces in the big part. We can see that the devil looking fella, sorry, what's his name? Cardu is his name, I think. But yeah, he's in there as well. Here's your small parts side. Doesn't look to be any printed pieces there. You can see these nice little translucent red pieces. Otherwise, not an awful lot of crazy pieces there either. There's also another bag 14 that I missed, and it includes a printed tile there. One of the kind of gold bar, but it's obviously silver. A white binoculars there as well. Some nice pieces there, definitely. Let's get on to the build. So this exists. I reckon pausing it and reading that, because that's really interesting. They've creative rights with this set, so they made a storeroom in the back for woohers, just like spare bits and stuff. But that's really interesting, I think. So at the end of bag number 14, we have this dude, 2 spare pieces, and boom, we have the other half of the cantina. Now, to be honest, I think this is the cantina finished. You can see the little storeroom there. I did want to kind of mention something. So, okay, they said the storeroom was their creative right or whatever, right? But if you look at Star Wars Battlefront 2 on the PlayStation 2, you will see there's an entrance on this side and an entrance here. Most used one, well, for me at least, would be this one, and I can never find it from this side, from the outside when I'm running past it. But if I'm running past it on this side, I know fine well that this is the entrance to Mos Eisley. Go in there, come out the back, and get some more Darth Mauls or something. You know, it's usually the hero mode you're doing it in. Okay, so that's that, right? So when it's like this, this is the back door entrance, same as, or a front door, just one of the entrances, right? But once you like open it up fully, it is actually behind the bar. So it does actually look like a storeroom. If you open it up fully, like the more you open it up, it doesn't really make much difference from there, as long as you have this bit behind the bar. And I just think that's really cool. Once you open it up as well, it just fits together there so perfectly. I love that. But yeah, that's it. Let's get on to bag number 15. And as you can see there, there's nothing to do with, there's no like information about Chewie there. So we'll just get straight into it. So, bag number 15, this is bag 2 of 15. This is the big bag and your small 2 bags on the inside of the big bag. Doesn't seem to be that many crazy pieces. Maybe this piece is a little bit interesting for people. This piece is nice in white, but obviously enough white pieces just seem to be more expensive. You got some boxes there. You see the return of this piece, which is nice. I really love the printing on that. You see Chewie's head mold, of course. And that's pretty much it for the big bag side of interesting pieces. You know, you can say that piece as well, and maybe this, but that's pretty much it. Moving on forward, you have the crossbow here, which is interesting. I think it's a stud shooter crossbow, I think, which is really interesting as well. I really like that. Otherwise, nothing really crazy in there. We got the small side here. They're really loving the white binoculars, but yeah, that's that. Yeah, that's all of your small side. Don't think any of these tiles are printed. No, none of them so far. No, none of the tiles are printed, which is, you know, you can take what you want from that. But anyway, getting on to the build. So at the end of bag number 15, we have Chewbacca and his stud shooter, all of our spare pieces here, and we pretty much just added on the roof, which it isn't attached to anything at all. It's literally just sitting there on flat tiles. You know, it's nice because you can just take it up easily without breaking the whole thing. It's not like, it doesn't seem the sturdiest. It's put together well, but it just doesn't, because it's so small, it just doesn't really seem, as I said, the sturdiest. But yeah, we made that, and we made this thing here. Not sure what it's called, but I love it because I've seen it in all of the Star Wars games and stuff, and it's just familiar, you know. This is also a bit that we added on to the side. It kind of clips on there and there, I think. But yeah, nothing crazy in this bag. Let's move straight on to the next bag. So bag number 16, and you can see here not an awful lot of crazy pieces again in this bag. Arguably this could be one, but it's, you know, it's molded specifically for the dewback. You can see another stormtrooper in this packet as well. Not an awful lot of interesting pieces otherwise. Maybe this. This is the other bag numbered 16. You can see some nice translucent blue pieces there, and some nice kind of Technic pieces there as well. This is obviously enough for the dewback's back, for whenever the saddle isn't attached to it. Your small bag, 2 small bags come in this bag, and this is the first one. Again, really loving that white binoculars in this set. And then of course you can see the other small bag. Not an awful lot of crazies in the small bags either. That's pretty much it. So, and you have to take out the rest of the unnumbered bag and the dewback, of course. Yeah, that's it for the overview of 16. Let's get on to the build. So at the end of bag number 16, we have the dewback with his back replacement part. We have a stormtrooper, and we have the thing he holds on to on top of the dewback. I'm not exactly sure what it is. Here's our spare pieces here. Not an awful lot, but sure, it's definitely there. And we made this and this in this bag. Now I will say, I have already tried to pick it up like this once, and that it didn't work out too well. But yeah, that's all we made in this bag. Let's move straight on to bag number 17. So bag number 17, second bag, first bag, 2 small bits in the first bag. Definitely some interesting pieces here. First off, I will just point this out. It's like a little carrier satchel, which I'm sure would fit Grogu in it. You know, that's really interesting. I think I've never seen that before. You can also see a barrel down there. Otherwise, not an awful lot of interesting pieces there, apart from maybe the Jawa. But that seems to be fairly standard. Over here we have a diamond. We have another one of these. For some reason, they split it into 2 packs. I don't know why they've done that. But yeah, otherwise not an awful lot of crazy bits in here either. There is a shovel there and a pot here. We see this pot in Obi-Wan's hut. I'm not sure where else we've seen it, but it's not new or exclusive to that set or this set at all. But going on then to our small side, we finally have a grey binoculars. Finally, we have this kind of chainsaw looking thing, and we have this strange thing over here. I'm not sure what it is. Like, it looked kind of like an angle grinder, but at the wrong angle. But yeah, that's very interesting, I think. Otherwise, standard enough pieces by the looks of things. And then moving on, we can see a crowbar there. And to be honest, that seems to be it for crazy pieces for this. You also have the backwards megaphone blaster there, which is decent. And we have a cup here as well. Not an awful lot of crazy bits. Some nice colours there as well. But that's pretty much does it for the overview of the bag. Now going back a page, there's no details here. But going back a page, typical Tatooine buildings. And this confirms my suspicion. Maybe he plans to strip the name of the ship for parts after Greedo is shot. So that would make me think that this is what they're talking about. I could be completely wrong, because that's not a landspeeder and it said landspeeder. I don't know. I'm not sure. One way or another, I still think that's Greedo's ship. One of these, however, is a house, and one of them is a a Jawa shop, which, you know, whatever you want to take from that. You can pause it here and read it if you want. But yeah, some nice imagery as well from Tatooine. Definitely a nice addition to the instructions. But moving on, let's get to the build. I found a printed tile. It's actually really nice. It's like vents or something like that. It was in the small side, but it's really, really nice. It's kind of a shine to it. It goes on the roof here, what I'm assuming is the roof. But yeah, that's a thing. So at the end of bag number 17, we have the Jawa workshop and the Jawa. We have one spare piece, just that one little translucent yellow stud. I'm fairly sure. Yeah, that's it. And yeah, that's all I can really say. It was a nice little build. I will say be careful picking it up, because I literally just picked it up there and yeah, it fell. I wasn't grabbing onto it properly. The roof came off altogether and it fell on me. But yeah, no, that's decent enough build. Now, finally, let's get on to the 18th bag, the final bag, the thank God for it final bag. It's taken me 2 days, and one of which is the whole day long. So yeah, let's get straight on to the final bag, number 18. First off, I'll show you though that there is a little bit of information about this guy too. You can pause it there and read it if you want. It's up to you. But yeah, definitely some nice kind of features there. So, bag number 18, the final bag. We got bag number 1, bag number 2, bag number 1 small, and in the middle here was a small bag in this bag. So, that's kind of interesting. Starting off with the biggest, we will go from here. I suppose there's some interesting pieces, a little few interesting pieces. Otherwise, standard enough kind of pieces. You get another one of these as well. That's great. This is the same apart from the head, which is not printed at all. It's literally just the head. Okay, so that exists. We got some holes here and some kind of random bits and bobs. You got another sweeping brush. Nothing too interesting otherwise. You've got up here, we'll start from the top and go to the bottom. In bag number 1, small, you have another one of these angle grinder things. You have, I don't think there's any printed tiles in this section at least. A couple of binocular bits there, another wrench. Also the kind of lightsaber bit there too. You got some more pieces in here. Nothing too crazy, some vents and some stuff. And then in here you have the spy's face, which is very creepy on its own. But yeah, that's definitely something. I mean, if you want a bit of a, definitely very creepy on its own. But yeah, you also got this thing here, which I'm not sure what it is. It's some kind of harpoon thing. But yeah, that's it. And to be honest, that is it for the interesting parts of bag number 18. So, let's get on to the build. The final build that will complete the entire set. So, at the end of bag 18, the last bag, the whole set is complete. And I have to say, the review will be long probably, but it'll probably all be good because it's an amazing set. It really is. We have built in this one our little hut, which actually, to my surprise, is really decent. It opens up like this. There's not an awful lot of space on the inside, but it's kind of the thought that counts. It's like, definitely, it's as big as Obi-Wan's hut, kind of. Nah, maybe not, but it's still big for what you get, and it's definitely nice to see there. You can see a few things kind of dotted around, like a broom, and there's a gun there, and there's a cup in the corner there. It closes up, clips together, and doesn't waver or anything like that. Then closes, and also you got your door, which if for some reason doesn't want to work for me properly now. But I'll probably have to just squeeze all of the parts together a little bit easier. But yeah, and we have our final minifigure. We have our spare parts for this bag. And our spare parts for the entire set. I told you it would be at least like a mini bag's worth, and it is more than a mini bag's worth. Sometimes you get like maybe that much in one of the little bags, but like there's a lot of spare parts, which is great to see. Definitely great to see. I just love the fact at least that we get a gold lightsaber hilt, because I can actually use that on one of my Palpatines now that didn't come with a lightsaber. So yeah, that's really great to see all of that there. And that's it. We'll show you the end of the instruction book. It basically shows you, like, it tells you to put the Jawa shop and house onto the end of it like that. Like that. Like that is all one thing now. Which does actually look pretty nice, because it does give a little bit more kind of space there for the fact it's Tatooine as opposed to adding it on to the same building. It makes it look nice a little bit, I think. Also kind of separates the Jawa house. You can walk in here, and then this is kind of like the back of the house, so you walk around then to the other side of the house, which is definitely a nice little addition there. But we'll get on to more about that in the review. I'll show you now the back of the instruction book. Shows you little features you can open up. Of course, the top, you can take these away. You can put up your dewback. I can't remember his name. There without his saddle on for some reason in that picture. You can of course take off the top, open it up, and it just shows you a lot of different functions of it. Then like it's really good. It's really good. It shows you that you can the Greedo shot first or hand shot first. That's this whole scene here, and then that's it. Then you've got a parts list then. Pretty extensive parts list, to be quite honest. And feedback and win. Surprisingly, no other sets from this wave. Well, this actually wasn't really released in a wave. It was kind of released on its own. And here it is, in all its glory. All the figures are over there in the corner, but we'll get it set up for you, and we will say goodbye. I will say that it is a very long build. It took me 2 days, and as I said, one of which was the whole day. I started at 12 o'clock, took a break for like 2 hours, and then came back to it. It took me pretty much all day up until 8 o'clock. But it's definitely a fun build, and it's not really that complicated, to be honest, but it's just the fact that the more you build it, the more it does kind of look like a decent adult set rather than just a play set. But that is that for this build. Thanks a million for staying with me for so long. It's probably going to be a long video, but yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for watching my video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below if you think there's anything that needs to be said. If you want to see more kind of display options for this set and angles for it, I will probably be doing a photo shoot on it as soon as I can, and all of those photos will be put up on Instagram as soon as I can. Hopefully it'll be before this video is uploaded, maybe before the review is uploaded, but I'll get all of that, the review and the photo shoot, up as soon as I can. So just, watch out for that. Go over and like my Instagram if you want to see that kind of stuff, and you'll get a notification whenever I post a new thing. I don't know what the crack is there, but anyway, thanks a million, guys. See you again. Take care.